to today's video, or welcome back to my channel. If you didn't see my video yesterday, you should watch it. Basically just telling you guys I moved to Japan. I lived here before about 6 years ago, in Tokyo. I was in Tokyo that time. This time I'm in Kyoto. Before we get into the video, I wanted to let you guys know that I've been selling my favorite Japanese stuff on my website, maryjanesworldtour.com. maryjanesworldtour.com kind of powers my travels. I am on a mission to visit every single country in the world. Yeah. And my goal is to finish this year. I want to finish in 2024. If I finish this year, I will be the 248th person to ever live. Think about that. 17 million people have apparently walked the earth. Apparently, roughly. Only 247 humans have visited every country because it's freaking hard. Anyways, I've been at this goal for the past 8 years without stopping. I've been traveling without stopping, and I plan to finish this year. I have 67 countries left in the world that I've never been to. Where are those countries? The Caribbean, I've never been there. I've never been to Oceania, so Australia, New Zealand, Samoa, Sao Tome, Tuvalu. There's so many little tiny countries out in the water that are so hard to get to because nobody goes there. So it's actually extremely difficult to go to these countries because no one goes there. You have to hire like private planes to like take you and all that stuff. So yeah, I will be going to North Korea soon. I have a whole video about that. The process of me applying to go to North Korea, me getting approved to go to North Korea, wink. When I'm gonna go, that's gonna be so fun. And then I've got like countries. Oh, Africa. I've only been to 11 African countries, and there are 54. So I've got to clean up Africa, and then just a bunch of countries sprinkled all over the place. And it's very doable for me in my head. But it's expensive, so if you want to support me, you can get something on my website, maryjanesworldtour.com. You're like directly supporting my goal of finishing every country, but also it's great stuff. I put my favorite Japanese stuff on there. I have the best Japanese hair oil that I love. Japan has been climbing in the world, like when it comes to hair care products. They're like at the top right now, making some of the best stuff in the world. Japanese hair honey I have on there. I've got my face cleansers that are the best face cleansers I've ever used in my life. And I've got my Kyoto Snack Box, and I want to tell you guys that today is the last day I'm selling my Kyoto Snack Box in Japan. So tomorrow is the last day if you're in the US, because Japan is a day ahead of you guys. But today is the last day I'm selling my Kyoto Snack Box. So if you want it, get it now. You can use the code worldwide for 25% off. Get the box now because I'm taking it down and I am going to replace it with something new I'm going to add to my website. So if you want a big box, I chock a big box full of Japanese snacks and I get the good stuff. And I send it to you guys in the US or wherever you are. I also ship to Europe, and I also ship to the UK and Canada. So if you want a Kyoto Snack Box, you can now get it. Today's last day. Use code worldwide for 25% off your entire order on my website. And if you want to just directly support my travels, I also have a link on my website where you can just donate to my every country goal if you'd like to. Other than that, I'm just going to jump into the video and talk about everything, all details when it comes to living in Japan. Easier, how difficult the process is to move to Japan. It's, when I say ridiculously easy for an American, other nationalities, not so easy. But for Americans, it's very easy because America and Japan have a great relationship. And that's what I was telling my friends in Afghanistan. If you don't know about my relationship with Afghanistan, you need to watch my Afghanistan videos on my channel because I love Afghanistan. It's my second favorite country. And I will be back in Afghanistan actually in about 5 weeks. I'm helping over there with some school. I'm helping build a curriculum for young women to learn. And I'm also building a school, and I'm going to be filming that whole process. When I go back, it'll be my 5th time to Afghanistan. I love Afghanistan. So anyways, for Americans, the process of moving to Japan is so easy. You do have to have a job. So you have to have proof of income, like they have to see you have a legitimate job, either in the US that allows you to work remote in Japan. So for me, yes, YouTube is a legitimate job. A content creator slash blogger is a recognized job. Now it's recognized almost everywhere because it's gotten so big in the last 5 years. So they need to see how you're sustaining yourself, obviously. So you would have to have some kind of remote job. No, you have to have proof of income. Like, how are you making money? Like, you're not just moving here without a job. So that you have to have proof of income if you don't find yourself a job here in Japan. And I don't know what that's like because I've never worked here, so I don't have any information on like getting a job. But if you don't have a remote job, like where you can work from anywhere in the world, you would need to apply for a different kind of visa. But if you can work from anywhere in the world like me, your job is online, it is so easy to come to Japan and move here. I suggest if you want to move to Japan that you just come here on a trip and you can visit your embassy. If you are from the US, come here, go to the US embassy. There's one in Osaka and there's one in Tokyo. Literally just show up and tell them that you want to live here, and they'll tell you all the information you want to know, all the details exactly for you, because everyone has like a different circumstance, you know? But all Americans, we get a free visa for 3 months on arrival. So say you're American and you come to Japan, you can be here for 90 days. You get a free visa in your passport on arrival. Isn't that amazing? So you might not even, if it depends on how long you want to live in Japan. If you want to do like a cool, I did this when I was young all the time, and you just want to like come here for 3 months, you can literally just come for 3 months and get yourself an apartment. It is so easy. I don't want to say the company that I got my apartment through because it's too much information, but just Google it. There's so many companies that help Americans find apartments. So yeah, I kind of covered the visa situation. If you can prove income, that you have a job and you can live here and take care of yourself, it's cake getting an apartment here. But if you don't, you're going to need to become a student, or you're going to need to have some kind of job in Japan. So you'd have to find that first, I guess. Unless you just want to do 90 days, you can do 90 days and just come here. And there are so many organizations that help Americans find long-term and short-term apartments in Japan. So I don't know if you guys know, but right now, I talked about this in another video, the US dollar is worth so much in Japan. Well, let me give you an example. When I was in Japan, just early 2023, I was in Japan. The yen, so $1 was 100 yen. So it was so easy to know how much something was, because if something's 1,000 yen, easy, you just remove 2 zeros, it's $10. If something was 3,000 yen, you just remove 2 zeros, it's 30 US dollars. It was so easy to know what the price of stuff was in US dollar. Now, this is for US dollar, not other currencies. The yen has dropped and the US dollar got stronger. So right now, Japan is so cheap. Oh my gosh. So like now if something's 1,000 yen, okay, hold on. So now $10 is like 16,000 yen. You guys. It used to be 1,000 yen. So anyways, now 1 US dollar is I think 147 yen. Whoa! Whoa! And it really adds up when things get expensive. Then you notice the biggest difference when something's like really expensive. Like if you like designer stuff, come to Japan. If you're a US citizen, come to Japan and buy designer because you're gonna get it so cheap because the yen dropped, because you're still paying for it in the yen amount. You know what I mean? And then you get your taxes back when you go back to the US. So it's the time if you want to buy designer, come to Japan and go to Louis Vuitton, go to Dior, go to the Apple store, whatever, because the yen has dropped. Anyways, it's not going to be down forever. So right now it's cheap, but it's not always cheap. But if you guys don't know, my home base is also kind of in Dubai. And coming from Dubai, Japan just seems so ridiculously cheap. So cheap. To me, it's so cheap. Because when I'm not moving around, I spend most of my time in Europe because my boyfriend is European and Dubai. So since I spend most of my time in Europe and Dubai, Japan! See, there's always that question. What do you mean by cheap? Is something, because people ask me, is Japan expensive? Well, what are we comparing it to? In comparison to traveling the world, if I'm comparing it to traveling Europe, traveling Dubai, or traveling like New York or whatever, it's ridiculously cheap right now. But yeah, so anyways, I pay it's like it comes to about $2,900 a month for this apartment, and it's 1 bedroom, 2 bathrooms, and you see my kitchen behind me. And this is perfect because literally it's just me. I didn't want anything bigger. I didn't want anything expensive because when I leave here, I will be back for literally days at a time. So it would have been so silly of me to get something more expensive because I will leave very early February and I'm off visiting every country in the world. So I just wanted a place to keep my stuff. I also love Japan. I also wanted to put Japanese products on my website. And I just genuinely love Japan. So, but this is average. Rent in Japan is going to cost you from about 500 US dollars to, if you really want to be really, really, really have like a beautiful, ridiculously nice place, that's going to be around $3,500 a month. Rent doesn't really get more expensive than $3,500 in Japan. So yeah, you can get the cheapest place will cost you about $500 a month, roughly, and it's easy to find, and they're nice. They're really tiny, but it's Japan. Nothing's that big, you know? So yeah, rent is going to average you in Japan $500 a month to about $3,500 a month. And $3,500 a month is going to get you something really, 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 really nice, let me tell you. Because Japan it's not a country that has expensive rent, no. But like I said, that would be really unnecessary. Unless you just, I don't know why you would want something that price, because you should just get a home. I don't know. But yeah, Japan rent doesn't get that high. So anyways, I paid $2,900 for this place a month. But Japan is That's on the more expensive side. And the only reason I'm paying that is because I'm in the very center of Kyoto. Like I'm in the heart of Kyoto, in the really nice area. If I were to move out a little bit of Kyoto, the rent, this same place I'm staying in right now might be $700 a month, but I wanted to stay right in center Kyoto. Same thing for Tokyo. Same thing for Tokyo. If you're staying in Shinjuku or Shibuya, your rent's going to be higher. If you choose to move out of Japan a little bit, out of Tokyo a little bit, you're going to pay five to seven to $1,000 a month. Japan's not expensive when it comes to rent. It's not an expensive country, in my opinion. But you're getting the opinion of somebody who spends most of their time in Europe and Dubai. So it's just ridiculously very affordable in my opinion. And Kyoto is cheaper than Tokyo. Obviously, Tokyo is Tokyo. The prices are, they're gonna raise prices. But the thing is, it's not nicer. Tokyo is, I can't even explain. Kyoto is so nice, so clean, and when you're here, you have the feeling of this is an expensive place. And it can be. But Tokyo's way more expensive just because it's Tokyo. You get what I'm saying? Just because it's Tokyo. So, but Tokyo is not nicer at all. Tokyo is way more dirty, way more crowded, and just crazy. Like if you go out at 5 a.m. in Tokyo, there's litter and trash everywhere from all the Americans that come here to party. Tokyo's the party city. It's the young city. It's the modern city. It's not ancient. It's not traditional Japan, and that's why I love Kyoto so much. The reason I came to Japan is because I like Japan, not because I wanted an international city. Tokyo's like this international city now. You don't feel like you're in Japan. Everyone's a foreigner. Everyone's from the US. Now, if you're coming to Japan for the first time, of course go to Tokyo, of course. But I've been traveling. I've been coming to Japan almost every year for the past 8 years, and I've had my fill on Tokyo. I'm good. I didn't want to live there. I'm not a party girl. I've never been to a club. I've never been to a bar, and I don't ever want to go. I've never been to a concert. I hate crowds. I hate rowdy people. I don't drink alcohol. I don't party, so it's not my thing. If you're into partying and parties every night and all the Americans are hanging out there and celebrities, go to Tokyo. I'm an old lady. I like to read books at cafes. I like to go for walks in the park. I like to stare at flowers. So Kyoto is my place. I also love Japan culture. So Kyoto is Japan culture. So that's why I chose to live here instead of Tokyo. Most people when they move to Japan, they want to move to Tokyo. And I get that. I get it. I get it. Everything's going on in Tokyo, and that's why I didn't like it. You will never see me in a party. I don't go to them. You'll never see me in a club. I've never been to them, never want to go. You'll never see me in a bar, never been to one, never want to go to one. I'm an old lady. I drink tea, I buy flowers. I love reading, I love finding cozy. See, this is what the Kyoto vibes. Cozy, quiet, clean cafes with delicious food. There's not young kids running around screaming, and it's not dirty, and it's calm and it's quiet and it's real Japan. It looks like real Japan. So anyways, yeah, that's why I chose to move to Kyoto. But that's me. I'm not saying Kyoto is a better place to live, but it is a better place to live for me. It's just so vibey, and the food is still traditional and delicious, where Tokyo is kind of like Paris. If you eat food in Paris at like in center Paris, the food is disgusting. It's not even owned by French people. The food is gross. It's not traditional French food. It's like touristy food. Same with Tokyo. The food is touristy. It's not real Japanese food anymore. I mean, you'll find spots, but I'm just in love with Kyoto. I am. I'm in love with Kyoto. I love getting lost and just going for a walk because you'll find these really cozy zen cafes and bakeries, and it's quiet. And so yeah, I just can't get enough Kyoto. So if you're coming to Japan for the first time, do I say don't go to Tokyo? No, go to Tokyo. Go. I think you'd have a great time. But I was just talking about the difference of why I chose to live here in Kyoto, and I've Tokyoed to death. I've been coming for the past 8 years, and like I said, I used to live here I moved here when I was 22. I did the free visa thing, so I got like an apartment for 3 months, and I stayed here for the full 3 months. But then I would leave and come right back and do it again. And I was in heaven, and that was Tokyo. But I was, you know, I was still taking in Japan, and it still was different back then. I mean, I know it was just 6 years ago, but it was way less dirty, way less tourist. Hey, listen, you guys enjoy Tokyo. I didn't want to live in a touristy destination. I just can't. So anyways, that's why Kyoto.